Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. We have awesome news for Ukrainian army again. They are coming from two of the major hotspots on the front lines. One is on the northeast part and the other one is on the south. Let's go to the north part first. In this area you can see the advancement of Ukrainian forces. We have several vectors of the counterattack which are ongoing mainly to the major important crossroads. For example, Svatove, which is located here. This is still under Russian control, but it's not far away from the front lines. And we also push Russians towards Rubizhne, and we also push them to Lysychansk. The very important thing for Ukrainian army that mainly we were able to cross the river over here, the Oskil River and water storage that goes all across this part, and also we were able to cross from this side across the Siversky Donets River. Those were two of the major natural obstacles for Ukrainian army to continue the massive counterattack that was done over here. So here we have no rivers, nothing. That is why it was quite easy for Ukrainian side. Well, if we speak about easy, because for every counterattack we still have some of the losses. They are less than Russians, but every attack is also very touchable, I would say, for Ukrainian side. So here, after we crossed this river, we needed to put the pontoon bridges and put the new supply lines for our army. That is why it was some sort of the standstill here for a couple of weeks, and now we proceed with one more counterattack because we gain our new supply lines, and now our army may push Russians away from this side. And I do expect that we're gonna go to Svatove very soon. It's here on a major crossroad. The only place where Russia still controls the river, they are part of the river, is here on the north. Here this river is more wider compared to this side. That's why it was quite easy for us to cross it here. But here it's much wider and Russia still controls this perimeter. But we're going to push them from this side as well. And maybe we're going to push them from the south towards north to encircle them. But they can easily cross this border with Russia and go to Russian territory. For us, it's very important to take Troitsky because here we may cut supplies for Russian railroad, but still Russia may use the same railroad to send reinforcements for their group, which is in Troitsky. So as for the north, everything is more complicated compared to what is happening near to Svatove. And I just want to zoom out for you and let's go on a timeline. Just want to show you yesterday. So it's yesterday and it's today. We pushed quite a lot towards Svatove. And here we have one more river that goes all across this part. We have some sort of the lake. The fighting is ongoing in this territory, but I think we're gonna cross this river again because it's the only obstacle that divides the Ukrainian side, as you can see, throughout this gray area with the Russian side. And how far away is the fighting from the Svatove itself? Around 10 kilometers. With what Ukrainian army is doing on the front lines nowadays, I think it's not a great distance to cover for Ukrainian army, but Russia may put defense lines because here we have also the river in the city itself. It's gonna be complicated for our army to get the city under our control, but from the recent news I got the information that Russian command and also those collaborators who work with the Russian officials, they all left this town. So I would bet that next week we're gonna take the Svatove city, and we already crossed this road. So gray area, it means the fighting is ongoing for H26 road. This road may go to Svatove itself, and also it connects Svatove with Kreminna, and we already, I think, cut it there. And Kreminna is also a very important city, and here again you can see the river, and that divides this city into two parts. So for us it's very important to take this one and go to Rubizhne, and after Rubizhne we may go to Severodonetsk and simultaneously push from Bilogorivka towards Lysychansk. So in general, next steps are quite understandable for Ukrainian army on a northeast part of Ukraine, and we're gonna continue to push Russians over here. Before we go to the Kherson region and south part of Ukraine, let me remind you that I do have a Telegram channel, and there I upload more current information and quite unique because some of those videos or footages I cannot just upload on YouTube because of the YouTube policy. So please check it out. It's in the video description below. Thank you. So let's zoom in. Here we have also success compared to what it was yesterday. So it was yesterday and it is today. So we're pushing Russians quite fast over here. However, compared to the first couple of days where we took lots of the land, here we have just a small corrections compared to that time, but still it's huge advancement of Ukrainian forces. And the main thing that we crossed this lake over here because Russia destroyed this bridge into China, and still here we were able to cross it, and this part is already taken by Ukrainian forces. We do have the similar bridges that may be destroyed by Russian side here in Milove on the way and also in Novokari, but still the ground there is not soft, it's very robust and rigid, and we can advance using light armor vehicles and even tanks just across the fields. As for the south part, mainly we have two of the major vectors for Ukrainian attack, here and here. The aim of that attack is to encircle Russian army, which is still here. They have lots of forces. And also I received the information about the Russian losses. They lost 2,500 soldiers in recent 2 months. Just to remind you, before there were 25,000 soldiers, so they lost 10% of their army because Ukraine was pushing Russians for a long 2 months, and now we're starting our major assault on that part. What I do expect here, my friends, that Russia may retreat to this side somewhere and partially retreat across the Dnieper River. However, just few soldiers may do it because they have ferries to regroup this amount, like thousands of soldiers. Those ferries are not enough, and ferries are easy targets, ships are easy targets for Ukrainian artillery. And that's why I think little by little Russian army would retreat to Kherson city itself, because they may put defense line in a city and there are still lots of civilians, and they may use them as improvised body shields for their army, and they will ask Ukraine army to negotiate because they may take civilians as hostages. And today again we got the information about Antonovsky Bridge being attacked, so we are not letting Russians to fix that one. So they're out of supplies, out of everything they need to fight against Ukrainian army, and we gather our resources here, reinforcements. We are motivated to free our land, so that's why it's just a matter of time, I think, till the beginning of the 2023, as I told you before, that we're gonna take Kherson city, and after that obviously we're gonna go and free all of this territory, and after that Crimea. Also from my friends, I know some of the information about this one, so there's gonna be a big surprise. Just wait for it. Details I will not provide on my channel so far, so just wait for it, my friends. But Russia continued their attack, and we're in Donetsk region, my friends. They hardly want this city. They eagerly want to reach Bakhmut city and even got some of the advantage. Well, compared to Ukrainian counterattack, it's not a big one. They took Vesela Dolina recently, just one village, and they were fighting for it for, I think, 1 month or something. And they're very close to Bakhmut. However, as I told you, we were able to build huge defense lines, and with the forces they have, I don't think that they gonna reach and take this city under their control. Only private, mainly private military campaigns are fighting for that city over here. The main political goal for a Russian army is to get control over the Donetsk region, but with the forces they have, my friends, it's unreal. My friends, even though I'm Ukrainian, but I try to give the detailed and truthful information. I like that our forces advance towards the occupier side, and I want our army to win this war. However, there are some of the advantages that Russia have today. They still have lots of the Soviet-made weapons, and they announced the massive mobilization. The quality of those soldiers is very low. However, those soldiers still will fight here in Ukraine, bringing more devastation to my country. And from the recent information that I got from the Russian sources, that Russians asked for 200,000 armored vests and 500,000 winter clothes for their soldiers. They asked Turkey, and Turkey side refused to give them that equipment. I think they also may ask North Korea, China, or Iran. Well, Iran is in a deep problem with the drones that they gave to the Russian side, because now officially they are a part of the conflict. Our guys captured some of the Iranian drones that they hit here in Ukraine, and you know what? They found out that there are United States made chips in the micro schemes of those drones, and the micro schemes themselves are made in China. It means that the United States sell those chips to China side, being unaware of what China side is going to do with them. China, they know what to do because the micro scheme is built for specific purpose. They put American chips on their micro schemes and then sell them to Iranian side, and Iran put those micro schemes into their drones. And that is how Iran is penetrating the sanction blockade, and then they sell the drone to Russian side. Russia just renamed those to Giran 2, and that's it. I would say that those kamikaze drones are very effective. Just 60% of those being destroyed by our anti-aircraft systems, and 40% hit the target. Believe me, it's a lot because we have lots of anti-aircraft systems around. The weak spot of the kamikaze drone that it's very loud compared to other drones, so you may hear it from the long distance and go to the basement or to the cover as soon as possible and you'll be safe. But those drones may destroy buildings, armored vehicles, tanks, and lots of other stuff. And they're not so expensive compared to rockets. Now, my friends, let's go to some of the recent news and events. You probably know that Russia hired lots of the prisoners to their army. So what those guys may do after they go to the front lines. Here we have the wanted warning for the Kherson region that is still under control by the Russian forces mainly. So those guys created some sort of the group, and they took lots of the weapons. They took the track, the small one, but still, and they just disappeared. So Russian soldiers are trying to find those guys. Oh, they took lots of the vehicles, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Mercedes, and Peugeot, so 4 cars and a large group of the armored men. I think Russia would face the same circumstances on their territory as well, because from the attitude the mobilized soldiers have towards them, sometimes they just sleep open air, but still they receive weapons. That's the main thing. And I think in the future there will be lots of the conflicts within the Russia. Antonovsky Bridge again, it's been destroyed, demolished, but still Russia has some tries to repair it because they don't have the other way out for their soldiers. And this is the engine of Iranian kamikaze drone. As you can see, it's a very simple piston engine with wooden propeller. Nothing extraordinary is here. The engine looks similar, maybe not to Rotax, but to Volkswagen T2 transporter, which is very old but also very simple. Simple exhaust, some of the tubes, that is why it's very loud. Some of the international news coming from Thailand, mass shooting, my friends. I don't want to say anything about it. I'm not that competent. You may Google those news. They're terrible. This is the Russian soldier. He surrendered and now he got medical treatment. He got everything. He says, I'm grateful to Ukrainian side for the hospitality, for what they are giving to me. I'm sorry for the actions I done in Ukraine. He said he was some sort of the supply guy working as a driver on a track, and he got some sort of the very disgusting injury. And for that, please check out my Telegram channel, because here I cannot show you everything. Today it was a rocket attack on Zaporizhia city, which is not far away from the front lines. There Russia targeted just a simple building. It was the wine shop on the first floor, and there were some of the floors where people live or used to live, and 3 of the persons lost their lives. and many more injured, and our emergency services are still working there on those ruins. And this is from other perspective. As you can see, the part of the building just collapsed. We got the warning from our military that tomorrow or this night Russia may start more attacks on Ukrainian civilians and infrastructure objects, because tomorrow is the birthday of this prick. We have some article from The Sun, but I wouldn't trust The Sun. It's just we call it yellow press or something. So they say that United States of America and NATO would react on a Russian possible nuclear attack on Ukraine by destroying Moscow. So here they say that the United States could launch a full-scale nuclear response against Russia. So that will bring the world to global devastation. Millions of people would die. And it's not a good scenario for everyone, I think. I'm sure that the planet would not be destroyed and humanity will continue to live. Yes, NATO should respond for that potential attack, but I think they would use some intelligence or special forces to eliminate Putin himself. We live in 21st century, so there are many ways how United States and allies may eliminate Vladimir Putin. And today, again, President Zelensky said that he doesn't believe that Putin will start this nuclear war because he is very afraid about his own life. Oh, it's NLO simulator. We got NLOs from Scandinavian countries and UK. So here is some sort of the video game where you can practice. My friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation here in Ukraine. Don't forget to press the like to this video because it helps to propel my content around YouTube. And also, if you want to support the channel financially, there are some of the links in video description below where you may support me on PayPal, Patreon, or Donatello, whichever you like. My friends, I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.